Lego.
Yes, Lego. People have said to me, "Hey Stuart, you spend a lot of money on Lego because you're a fucking idiot. Why don't you review some of it?" And my usual response is, please, control your language, we're at a children's party. But then afterwards I had to think about it, and you know what? God damn it to heckles, they were correct. I should do some Lego reviews, and here we are. Anecdotes. So, as the inaugural Lego review, this is arguably the flagship piece of the Lego movie series, Benny's Spaceship, 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 which is a reference to the film, you see. Have you seen the film yet? If not, stop watching this video immediately and go and watch the bloody film. It's great, and far better than it has any right to be, and even oddly sort of attacks Lego's own current business strategy. Not that that actually stops them with that strategy, as evidenced by these many movie sets, but there you go, that's life. Also, any fans of classical Greek literature will notice weird parallels with Aristophanes' The Birds play. It's even got bloody Cloud Cuckoo Land in it, for God's sake. Anyway, let's stop being poncy and talk about toys made of small plastic bricks. Yeah, the Lego movie series hasn't been fantastic, really. They had a few nice models in the film, which has been good, and a lot of them have frankly been a bit crap. Does anybody really want the vehicle that you see for 2 seconds, that you see flying around for 2 seconds again later? Probably not, and that's a shame, because that's what most of them were when they released the series shortly after the release of the film. But Benny's Spaceship, what a thing of beauty. And it must be said, stupidly not released shortly after the film. I cannot understand that at all. Why would you not put this out to tie in immediately with it? But no, it comes along months later. And my flipping giddy aunt, it's goddamn expensive. £80. Oh, sorry, I just choked on my own horror there. Yes, 80 actual British pounds for this thing. It's not worth that. I'm going to give away the ending there by saying that immediately. Seriously, try and track it down for like £50 or less, and even then be a little bit careful. It's a nice thing, but my God, Lego is expensive, but that's like super expensive with a hat on. But anyway, let's forget about our troubles and look at this goddamn piece of joy. Yeah, as you will probably tell if you are of the correct age, this is a love letter to the old space sets, which started in the late 70s and continued to the mid-80s. I think this one is specifically, in fact, based on the old Galaxy Explorer ship from the very late 70s. It's one of these, it's sort of similar kind of shape, and it just looks like a massively and comically overexpanded version of it. And that is massively rammed home by the fact that the Galaxy Explorer ship, actually I'll feed in a picture here, has the plate on it saying LL928, and Benny's Spaceship here has LL929 on it. Nuff said. Yeah, it's not only is the shape familiar, to say the least, but it's this kind of weird, well, you could say sleek design, or you could say flat design, frankly, where it's just sort of built up a bit more as we go towards the back. Tapered, streamlined, there we are, that's a nice description for it, which was a feature of the old 80s sets along those lines, and it's got so many little pieces which fit in with it. We've got the obvious old space logo, we've got these little, I don't know what you'd call them actually, thrusters, yeah, we'll call them thrusters, which were a hallmark of said sets. We've got the radar dish they used to use a lot, and most importantly, those weird little sets of 3 sirens, which used to be on nearly every space set, and I could never bloody figure out why. So, let's go and look at the little figures that come with it first, before I totally forget about them then. First up, we've got Emmett. He is the hero of the Lego movie. Here he is, being all covered in tinfoil because he's pretending to be a robot or something. That doesn't really fit in with the spaceship, but never mind. It comes with a silver-coloured piece of resistance, as obviously it should. I don't know. Quite an amusing little figure, but yeah, not entirely relevant to the spaceship. But hey, who cares? Emmett's in, frankly, so many of these goddamn sets, it's nice to get something different, I think. We have Wild Style, whose name, well, I've forgotten what it was now. Was it Lucy? Alice? I've forgotten. Let's call her just Wild Style. And they've got this interesting sort of hoodie piece on her, which is quite nice. And they've gone the full hog and given her sort of the space logo. But she's got a kind of punky aesthetic to it, because that's what she does when she's not kissing Batman or whatever it was. Villainous. Oh no. We have a bad guy. It's a robot pilot. So it's a bit like a sort of Sith Lord or something from The Mask. The actual colours of it very reminiscent of the old Blacktron set with a hint of Space Police for the red visor, do you think? Or am I just reaching there? I don't know. Let's chuck him over there and talk about Unikitty in her spacesuit. Oh, she's even... Oh, it's the other side. I was thinking to say she's even got the space logo on her bum, but looking at it, it's not there, because it's just on the other side, weirdly. And there she is, looking all jolly with her ice cream cone hat. Interestingly, she fits in, not in the cockpit or anything, but has like a weird thing where she sits on the side here, like some sort of crazy R2-D2. Anyway, let's leave her in there. And finally, Benny himself. Benny is, as you can see, a well-played-with 80s spaceman, possibly late 70s, actually, looking at the colour scheme. He's got all the things you want, and he's got the rather nice in-joke they have of the fact that the bottom of his helmet has cracked. It's not, it's been moulded like that for this version, but that was a massive problem with these old 80s spacemen. These pieces were quite thin, in fact, originally far too thin, and would just basically crack if you breathed near them. They did thicken them later, but still very fragile. So 10 points for poking fun at themselves. And here's my favourite bit. You can even rotate his face round, so he's got the generic Lego man look. 10 points, and an extra point for the crappy giant walkie-talkies with weird studs on the back that they all had back then. So you've got 11 points out of 10. Well done, Lego, yes. Right, before we go into the ship proper, let's look at the other thing that comes with it, which is the evil... what was the company of... Lord Business. Octan? Yeah, let's go for Octan Spaceship. It's one of these tiny little things that's essentially a cockpit with small wings on it, but it does look quite nifty. It's quite a little sleek design. Quite enjoy it from an aesthetic point of view. And look, on the back, this gun comes off, and the robo-pilots can run around and shoot people with it, as is his wont. Ugh, it's covered in dust. It's like somebody's been eating a bag of crisps over it. How the hell did that happen? Also, something I like. All the little dials in there, I believe, are from the older space sets. And the printed thing there. Properly printed. I like that. Does anybody like bloody stickers on Lego? They're crap, aren't they? They're always difficult to put on. If you put them on slightly wrong and they've got some of the clear backing on, they just look shit when they come off. I think I might have done it with one corner of that one, actually. I don't know if you can see, but it looks too obvious. Printed pieces more, please. These things are expensive. Don't give us the crappy stickers. And my God, there was a lot of stickers on this one. 25, I believe, of them. Well, that's what I've written down, so I'm assuming I counted them at some stage, and there were 25. Oh, that's too many stickers, guys. But hey, it's still a nice thing. We won't kill you for it. So... very sturdy is a good thing, because it looks like it might be fragile. It bloody isn't. So let's look at what it actually does. Well, it's got a nose cone. That's good, isn't it? This bit very easily breaks off if you're playing with it. Not that I've done that. I'm 37 years old. Don't judge me. It's got these little missiles that you can sort of flick out, which is what Lego do because they're too scared to put springs in things. Oh, wait, they're not anymore. They've also got these spring-powered ones at the top, which are frankly quite terrifyingly powerful. You can just ping one, it'll take out somebody's retina or just fly straight under the fucking sofa and you'll never see it again. Really don't like these spring-loaded things. Also don't like the fact they're very ugly. You get this little big stick poking out. Doesn't work too badly with this design, but not so good with other ones. Cockpit opens. Obviously, you've got a pilot and two friends, so that will be Benny and the Jets. I mean, Benny and Wildstyle and Emmett, presumably. Lots of stickers here which look like the old pieces you used to get in the old 70s bits. And again, some old style printed on cockpit stuff there, which is nice. Now, the bit under Unikitty opens it up, which amusingly says latch near it, despite the fact it doesn't have a fucking latch. Very irritating. And inside, a little sort of control room. And inside the control room, it's going to be hard to point out, there's like this weird combination microwave oven and, I don't know, warp reactor. Central core, is it full of dilithium crystals? I've got no idea, but it's what Benny's spaceship runs on. You've also got a hammer and a spanner in there for repair purposes, presumably. I think they missed a trick here, because this bit with Unikitty on here doesn't really come off. And if it did, she could have her own little flying saucer to fly around on, look. That'd be nifty. And it's something they've done on the ends here. The ends of the wings actually come off and form their own little fighter craft. Well, I say fighter craft, it looks more like a sort of tiny booth with a rocket on the back, and guns, like a sort of flying commode or toilet of some type, which you can use to do stuff. However, if you do take them off, it does make the whole thing look a bit too thin then. It needs this sort of distance at the back to give it a decent shape, really. And that is helped by action feature time. Push in one of the 3 giant glowing engines at the back. Ooh, look how many studs they've got in them. And, wait for it. Oh, I've taken Unikitty's head off. I apologise to any fans watching. And ready. Yep. The whole thing sort of extends more and looks noticeably better. There's a big gap here. Also, I've just noticed, I hadn't noticed before, look at this. There's a bloody gap in the cockpit. That's a serious problem in spaceship design, guys. It also opens up these bloody great, well, they look like Technic Lego to be missiles. If you push one of these in, wait for it, you can actually kill an elephant with that bloody thing. It comes out incredibly hard. It's weird. They were scared for years, Lego, to actually give you any firing missiles. You've got these little things you would flick out. Power. And now they've just put springs in them with more power than a small giant spring power station. It's a thing. They use it to run the Netherlands. I don't know. Anyway, what's in here then? We've got the good old radar dish, which will give a bit of a spin and joy and all that sort of stuff. And inside, interestingly, some little robots. Oh, they're hard to get out without pulling their arms off. I shall show you one of them here. Get back on there. Now these were a thing, again, from sort of the mid-80s. They had them in sets. Was it more late 80s? I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, maybe it's an attack droid, maybe it's a repair droid. I don't know. But it does fit nicely in there. 10 points. And also, quite cleverly, although it's got big holes in it, oh, I've managed to destroy that now. His arms have dropped off. Well done. When you actually put down the dish, it's not sort of obvious they're in there. It just looks like a sort of thing full of engine stuff. So which adds aesthetic points. Well done, lad. And we've got a lot of the old space logos everywhere, as it should have. Most of them actually quite nicely printed on, although sadly the big ones at the back are indeed bloody stickers. So let's rotate it away to give you another angle and pop it down there then. So, that is Lego 70816. It's bloody expensive, but it's a really nice thing. It's an absolute love letter to the 80s space stuff. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff like I am, it's bloody great. I would say the biggest problem, though, is if you want to display it somewhere, you have to put it down very low. Because if you look at it from a sort of very high above angle, it just kind of looks like a big flat nothing. You have to get a bit of height on it for it to look cool. But anyway, it's a great set and it's a great movie and greatness abounds everywhere. But yeah, it's too bloody expensive, even for Lego.
Subscribe for more.